Thank you for watching. So in today's video, I want to talk about warning signs when it comes to identifying an abusive or an unsafe person. The reason I want to talk about this is because many times people who are in abusive relationships figure out that the person that they're with is toxic when it's too late, after they've gone through violence, after they've gone through many heated arguments and unsafe or sometimes even life-threatening situations. So my hope with this video is to give you some helpful signs on how to identify, or give you like the red flags that come up when you're in that relationship that may become abusive. The first sign that you might see, or a red flag that might come up, is if their temper scares you. So when they get upset or when something doesn't go their way, it just scares you and it makes you afraid of them. So this is a really big red flag for you to keep an eye out. If you find that you are feeling afraid or you're feeling scared of the person when they get angry. Another warning sign is that the person always blames you or others for their problems or their mistakes. So this means that it's very hard for them to take full responsibility and really change when they do something wrong. So they can't take responsibility for the mistakes they've made, and they can't really be self-aware of themselves when they're doing something that's inappropriate or wrong. The following really big, and this is a huge red flag, is if this person or your partner cuts you off from your friends and family. So if they don't allow you to see your friends, if they don't allow you to be in contact with your family, this is a huge red flag that this person might be abusive and might be going down the path that might isolate you from others and make it difficult when the time comes to get help. A fourth red flag is if this person is very jealous. If this person can't be okay with you talking to another person of the opposite sex, if you can't have any friends, if you can't be out looking a certain way, if they're just very jealous, this is a sign that and it's unreasonable, because I know a lot of people are jealous within their relationships, and up to a certain extent is kind of normal, but when they're jealous in a way that they try to control you, or they just become toxic and can't handle those jealousy feelings, that shows that this could lead down to an unsafe or an abusive relationship. If this person always follows you and is always checking up on you every hour, or tries to always see what you're doing to see if you're lying to them, this is a really big sign when it comes to abusive relationships. So checking in with your partners is fine, but when it comes to him always checking up on you and always calling you every hour and really blowing up your phone and things like that, these are signs of an unsafe and unhealthy relationship. So maybe the relationship isn't already toxic, but it's already going to an unhealthy pattern. So this is when you should get counseling, or you should really talk to your partner about it. But if you find that you're scared to talk to your partner about it, and this person is always checking up on you, it could be a sign of an unsafe or an abusive person. If this person is always putting you down, it's always criticizing you in front of other people, tries to embarrass you by just belittling you in front of other people, this is a big sign that this person might be abusive. So he finds power, he finds he likes to feel in control, he likes to feel like he's above you, things like that in front of other people. This is a big sign that this person may be abusive, and you want to keep your eye open to see if you see any of the other signs that I talked about, or the future signs I will talk about. And usually if this person is really putting you down in front of other people, these people are usually your friends, and they will tell you that something is wrong. So sometimes it is good to ask or even take the advice of other people when it comes to your relationship, because this is an abusive pattern that the person might get farther on along in controlling you and not being able to talk to your friends and family. So keep an eye out when it comes to the way he talks to you or she talks to you in front of other people. A big red flag is if you're scared to say no to this person. If you want to avoid a fight because this person scares you when you argue, saying no might be difficult for you. So if you're afraid to say no to him because he might get upset, this is a big red flag, because This shows that you cannot disagree, you cannot have any disagreements, any arguments with this person, because this person becomes abusive and toxic when they get angry. So this shows that he might have an anger problem, which is a big sign of an abusive person. So if you have trouble saying no to this person, really evaluate your relationship to see if maybe this person might need any anger management. Along with the last red flag, if you find yourself hiding things from this person because you're fearful of upsetting this person, then it shows that this is a red flag, that something's wrong with the reactions of this person. So they might be abusive or they might be unhealthy. So you avoid telling him or her complete truths. You avoid telling them anything that might be negative or go against what they believe or what they want. So if you find yourself hiding things from this person because of their reactions or their anger, it's a red flag. Now, if you find yourself hiding things because you just don't want to be honest, then that's a different problem. But when we're talking about anger and you not wanting to upset this person, and that's why you're hiding things because of their reaction is just too violent, too toxic, then this is a red flag that this person might be abusive. Staying in the topic of anger, if you find that your partner is very violent when he gets angry, he throws things, he hits things, he breaks things like that, shows that he has an anger problem. This is a big red flag when it comes to being staying in a relationship that's abusive or violent, because it doesn't stop there. Things, when they don't get controlled, they're gonna progress and they're gonna get worse. So right now he may be just yelling, then it will go to throwing things, then breaking things, hitting walls, and then it can start becoming physically abusive. So now he's gonna start, or she, it can only be either one, it can start becoming abusive physically, and that's where it's gone that far. And you don't want to wait till it's physical abuse before you realize that you're in an abusive relationship. There's going to be signs beforehand. So if you find that your partner is getting angry and throwing things and being violent and toxic in that way, then it's a big flag that shows that this person is abusive. This person is unsafe. If you find that your partner is abusive or violent when they drink, or they can't just have one drink, so they are always getting drunk, and when they do get drunk, they get violent, this is a huge red flag that, one, there might be alcoholism involved, so that needs to be addressed, or two, that this person is going to be abusive towards you. So you need to get out of that relationship as soon as possible if you can. I know marriage and when you've been with this person for a long time, it's harder, but it's really important to really try and see that getting angry, getting violent when a person drinks is a huge red flag that this person is abusive and that you're heading down a difficult and a very abusive relationship. And the last red flag, and it's very obvious, and this really is going to show you this is an abusive relationship. Like, if you get to this point, you really need help. If you have a person that's hitting you, if they're pushing you, they're slapping you, they're kicking you, anything like that, that shows that you are in an abusive relationship. That's the last straw and you need help. So these are my warning signs when it comes to an abusive person. Now, you may be with a partner that has one or two or three of these things, but you really need to evaluate to see if, okay, is my partner just needs some anger management, or are they really an abusive person? Really evaluate your relationship, evaluate how you feel. A lot of times your instinct is what's going to tell you if you are in an abusive relationship or not. So these signs, along with your instinct, it's really gonna give you a sign like, okay, I should not be with this person. If you have this and you do love this person, then you need to get help for this person. You need to get some couples counseling. If your relationship has gone as far as physical abuse, the way I see it, and I mean, other therapists can have different opinions, but I would suggest that you separate. I'm not saying to separate forever, but if you're in a physical abusive relationship, you need to separate from this person because this person isn't safe. You could continue working on the marriage, but until this person has shown you some real change in the way they are, in the way they handle anger. Maybe they drink, so if they drink, maybe they don't drink anymore. They have to show you that. If they have anger problems, they have to go to anger management with the couples counseling. All of these things, if this person has really shown that they've changed, along with changes that you, the victim, has made, because it just doesn't happen that this person needs to change, and that's that. As a person in an abusive relationship, you become victimized, so your boundaries are very, very weak. And I already did a video on boundaries that you can go back and look at, but you need to learn to put boundaries. You need to learn how to identify when things are going bad, when things are being inappropriate or unhealthy and things like that. You need to be able to identify those things, so you need to become stronger. And unless you're able to get strong enough, and this person is also able to make these changes, then the abuse is going to continue. So I really suggest that you both get therapy, that he gets anger management, or she does if she's the one that's being abusive, and that you really make some changes. Find a person, find a therapist around your area, and always remember, if you are in the middle of if you're scared for your life and things have gone way too far, there's always a way out. There's women's shelters, and there's call the police. Don't be afraid to get authorities involved, because that will help empower you to make safe decisions, especially if you have children. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful when identifying patterns of an unsafe or an abusive person. If you have any questions, you can always email me, or you can always leave your comments below. If you want to see more videos, go ahead and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.